see how things get going and if we can start stacking up that dual damage, if we can avoid the kind of pitfalls that Spirit had built into their drafts as we get underway with game number 1 of Talon versus Team Spirit. Already early smokes out from both teams as they jockey for positions. And Winter, the one interesting facet I see so far, as we do hit a quick pause, is the Spoils of War facet. I thought it was more of the plate haul, the over the barrier basically, on the overwhelming odds.
Huh? Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. I was expecting that as well. So this is more like, so your assisting allies will get 50%. Of what bonus?
And then they also get a press the attack buff, which did get nerfed.
Oh
if I'm not mistaken.
So they get
right?
the permanent bonus damage, but also 50% of the press the attack buff. I mean, seems pretty good. But this does mean that your lane is a little bit worse because you don't have the barrier. But your facet is stronger when it comes to the mid game, when it comes to team fight. Well, we'll just have to see how it works out. But I think on paper it looks better for mid and late game. It's just your lane is going to be slightly weaker.
Yeah, definitely. Check out these early wards as well by Spirit. You can see that they are very concerned with the possible rotations from the bottom lane going to gank their mid. By the looks of things here, that double warding coverage, I think, indicative of that. But I don't think otherwise we're going to see too many aggressive moves. Oh, yeah, well, I say that.
Yeah. Two on the same side of the hill.
Yeah.
Maybe they were just trying to, because they smoked in the beginning, they were trying to see if someone's there to get an easy first blood. Maybe. Not sure, but
I guess so, right? With Nightmare, you have like a nice setup.
Yeah, they're stronger at level 1, I think. Overall, their heroes, Centaur, Bane. Alright, now Collapse is just doing his blocking. He knows he can get away with this because the enemy position 5 does not have a stun or anything to stop him.
Oh,
so he blocks the creep into the tower. This is going to get him creep equilibrium. So next thing you're going to see happen is Rule on the Muerta is going to make sure that Talon does not have a pull camp to disrupt the equilibrium.
Cuckoo ends up scouting Miposhka, who was trying to maybe find a cheeky first blood bottom, so he's going to gate back top, where Radan's already popped the Metamorphosis level 1 just to secure these early waves, it looks like. There's a lot of emphasis here to make sure that they get off to a good start, Winter, as you said.
I mean, all these lanes should be quite contested, you know, looking at both the side lanes. Miposhka are going to get a sleep onto Jokam, pulling him in.
He's got the sleepwalk as well. So it puts Jokum out of position.
It's a lot of damage. Very nice. I mean, so Radan is having a good time in the first couple of waves. They have been able to harass the LC and the Ringmaster very well here. Good trade in the first level. So that's going to set up them for a much easier level 2, level 3. It's all about trading resources when you're talking about the lane. Who gets the better trade? And once you have more resources, you should be able to secure the locals later and eventually snowball the lane.
Yeah, that's the goal, right? They're slightly vulnerable here with the cooldowns, what they are on that Metamorphosis. But like you say, just all about building that lead, using your resources, as Storm is eager to do very early in this mid lane. You can see Laurel and Mikoto really going toe-to-toe, but Laurel with some nice positioning here is going to prevent Mikoto from getting the Jingu stacks he was looking for. He lives, thankfully, because he was out of range of that static slide remnant. It maybe would have been the death of him, if not the damage, certainly the slow.
He was playing a little bit too aggressive, you know, when his Mischief was on cooldown, you know. Like whenever you're trying to dive and get the 4th Jingu stack, you need to make sure you have Mischief ready, you know, so that you can use it to tank the static slide.
Another sleepwalk up top lane, this time from Miposhka. It's going to work out. WS chasing for the kill, even with the reflection slow and the blood grenade stack. He still has the move speed. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade. But I mean, just look at the HP imbalance.
Good trade for the Team Spirit side. They got the first blood, but like as I was saying, I mean, Mikoto, because of that trade, he is not really having a very good time now. He's very low on resources, so Storm is actually not really getting pressured too much in this lane. So if you're Spirit, you're really happy with the first couple of minutes right now, because the mid lane is the lane that you are most worried about getting snowballed by the Monkey King. And now it hasn't happened.
Fighting over the Lotus. Pretty good damage here. Another sleepwalk onto WS, which they'll toggle over to Jokum. As Radon, he's
should
got
be
5
fine.
seconds until he's got Metamorphosis up here. They may still continue fighting, I reckon, Winter. Careful now, WS going in pretty deep, but Radon pops that meta level 2. The Wand Charge is fighting here with the Lotus on top, but it's the Tame the Beast that will take him down. Miposhka trades away WS. But Talon, very fighty in this top lane, will strike back.
Yeah, they get the
Mid lane,
better
Makoto, he's been
trade this
dragged
time.
under the tower. The body blocks as Rue completes the TP. Makoto, he's going to be able to dodge some damage with the Mischief, but it's still overwhelming.
Oh, this is not looking good for the Monkey King. Yeah, again, playing very, very aggressive. Good reaction there by Rue, coming in to get the kill with the dead shot there. I mean, dying as the Monkey King in the lane is something that you cannot afford to happen, you know. It's going to set your hero back so much because you're meant to dominate the lanes.
Definitely. Yeah, and, you know, Rue and Collapse have done a really great job pushing out bottom to ensure that they can make that rotation. Jokum
nice
here,
dead shot.
dying to his own reflection. He's going to be okay, but it's down bottom where Cuckoo gets caught out by the dead shot and the calling. He will die here.
Yeah, that was a very nice setup by Rue. Using the dead shot to push him into the silence so they catch the Phoenix and they can land the stun because of that from the Centaur. Just perfect play there from Collapse and Rue. But to be fair, Rue did most of the heavy work there. You know, he set everything up for the Centaur. So well played to him. Yeah, everything seems to be going well, you know, for Team Spirit in all 3 lanes. However, right now, in terms of CS, Radon has kind of had a hard time, you know, the last 1 minute or so. He's 18 and 6 to the 23 and 2 from WS. So he's definitely getting pressured a little bit more now.
Yeah, they have been really focusing quite a lot on fighting, haven't they? As Makoto gets his Jingu stacks up mid. Let's give him some time to pressure Laurel out of lane.
He's very good at pressuring you in the first couple of minutes. I mean, the mid rotations are going to be very, very crucial, right? Because if you look at the side lanes being discontested, so the runes control, allowing the mid laners to come into action, it's going to be able to tip the balance, you know, on the side lanes very easily.
Gonna sneak through that twin gate up top. You got level 2 fire spirits. Well, they dive the tower for this. They've got the wagon. WS with a level 2 overwhelming odds is good damage on Miposhka. Tame the Beast, pushing him further underneath the tower as Cuckoo. He will dive on in. Stick charges utilized here, but it seems like they will burn him down between the blood grenade and the fire spirits DPS.
Yeah, Radon still able to
mid again. Makoto. Oh, we got the Jingu off. Does get a pretty decent boundless strike for the lifesteal. He's still in some trouble trying to take Rue down as he needs to rebuild these Jingu stacks, and that's not going to happen. Laurel, he takes him down for a second time. It's Rue's rotations to the mid lane that have been absolutely destroying Makoto. Is top, they're not done. Jokum, he gets another kill onto Radon.
This is maybe going to get worse. A rebuttal here. I mean, I think that the mid trade is actually way better for Spirit, right? Killing the Monkey King. I think you take that trade. You're losing a Terabit on the safe lane. Seems like a pretty big deal, your carry going down. But I think it's even more important that the Storm gets the kill on the Monkey. And he's going to be able to run around with runes and control the map even better, you know. Because the Terabit, if you think about what the hero does, he's going to be farming anyway. Storm is the one that you want snowballing, you know, so he can move around with runes and, you know, take control of the game. And snowball.
Yeah. And you want to make space for the space creator, right? Is kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. The carry is going to be farming regardless, you know. You give him a kill, you give him an extra kill. Sure, you know, he's going to get his farming item a little bit faster, but he is still going to be rising, you know. But if you give someone like a Storm a huge edge in the early game, he's going to repay you back like twice, you know. Or 3 times, you know.
I gotcha. I gotcha. We'll see then how the Storm's able to make use of his ball lightning as Laurel, he goes hunting down bottom. However, a good read by Natsumi as he's already taken the twin gate up into the top lane. A little bit of a tourist here.
Yeah, everyone's partying at top lane now.
Can they kill him here? Stampede. Yeah, that'll get him to safety.
Oh, here comes the
TP out from
space creator, Laurel.
Indeed, he clips himself there for a second. Jokum walking in his sleep to his death as the Tame the Beast only buys him a microsecond of time. WS poking, looking maybe for his first duel and finds it. A victory there over Miposhka, who gets absolutely nukes down. Makoto, he even surprised me showing up in the mid lane. It will be a difficult kill onto the Storm as Laurel utilizes his mana just to simply run away.
Ooh, they see him. He's alone now. He's going to die.
They've got a ward up here. WS course, he won't have another duel, but Natsumi, he's got plenty of damage to take down the support Muerta. Down bottom, in the meantime,
nice.
Cuckoo, he keeps the tower alive. Talon, they will take the top tier 1. So it has been a nice rotation here out from the side of Talon.
Yeah, being in a new patch really, if you don't really know the trees really well, you're not gonna be ready for that Monkey King jumping in there, you know, disguised as a tree.
Carefully here. Makoto is walking very close to the tier 1 tower into the silence. There's going to be the dead shot, but saved by the escape act. Laurel leaping in, though, will secure the kill. He's low on HP to tame the beast. Not enough damage ticking down to the impalement arts, but will otherwise be alive.
Oh my god, Monkey dies again. That is his third death. You know, he's really trying to play with his limits a lot, and so far, you know, has not really been yielding him good results. You know, he has been dying. He's been dying a lot, you know, and this is not a hero that you can afford that many deaths, you know. And here comes Collapse from the side. He's going to find a Phoenix. Late Meal tries to push him out.
I mean, it's pretty effective against the Dying Light Phoenix, actually. You can't stop that damage output.
Yeah, you can't.
And Winter, not only, you know, this monkey for Makoto, it's not a hero you want to be dying on, but it's also not a hero you want to be dying to. As the Storm starts building up these galvanized charges, he's up to 8 as he regens in the fountain. They may now look to continue putting pressure down bottom. Cuckoo hiding away in the trees. I think they've caught a glimpse of him now. He is going to need to Icarus dive away, I suspect, but is otherwise making good space down bottom.
Yep, he is the designated garbage collector now, collecting the dead lane farm. Finally gonna get punished, but you are fine with that. You know, he almost got his level 6, you know, and he kind of wasted quite a decent amount of Team Spirit's time there, finding him and hunting him.
Yeah, but this bot lane is going to be basically a no-go area now for Talon Esports. As an amplified damage Storm walking around in the jungle.
No-fly zone, that's what we call it.
They are no farm zone, maybe. Oh, Maposhka, unfortunately for him, walks straight into a second duel. That is going to be 20 duel damage now for WS and 5 for the Ringmaster.
Yes, you get half of it, right, for helping with an assist.
Natsumi's even got 5 now as he chugs along towards his first item, Battle Fury down bottom.
I like this facet now. Looking at the game, I feel like everyone that contributed to securing the duel damage is entitled for half of the bonus damage.
It's a little tax, right?
Yeah, I mean, after all, you did help him secure the duel win, you know, so you deserve it.
Agreed. Look like they want to try and set up now onto Laurel, but he's dangerous with this amplified damage rune. He is pushing very aggressively as they will set up the Wheel of Wonder.
Very
Perfect
nice
connection with the Supernova on top. Laurel, he will go down. Lovely play there by Talon Esports as they do commit a handful of ultis to pick off the mid-storm. They needed that, though, for Makoto, didn't they?
Yeah, they needed it so badly, you know. Now it's going to kind of put Mikoto in a much better position, but he's still like he's bottom of net worth in terms of the cost, and he's going to need a couple of more of those, you know, to get himself back into the game. But that was excellent spell casting by Talon for sure. The Balance Strike to set up the Wheel of Wonder and the Tame the Beast to turn him, to fear him into the wheel, and just making sure that they get that full lockdown on top of the Phoenix Egg. Perfect.
Yeah. You know, the more and more I see of this Ringmaster hero, especially at this high level, the more I kind of enjoy him in the game. I wasn't the biggest fan when he dropped, but now that I'm seeing him like this,
of the clown,
I'll be honest with you, Winter. I don't really like clowns.
Okay, fair enough. But you always call me a clown, so you don't really like me.
And do I like you?
Oh, okay. I know.
We'll leave that as an exercise to the viewer.
And this is why I never get to order the food I really like. Every time it's always like, okay, let's get this, let's get that. I'm like, can we actually have something else? Nope.
What do you mean? Nope. You don't love that I constantly order durian to your house? I thought you loved durian.
Yeah, my wife loves it. I'm like, maybe not so much. You know what? My dogs love it though.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't tell me Pommy is feasting on the durian.
Yeah, she really likes a bite of durian, you know. A little bit of dessert after dinner.
Durian is not dessert.
I mean, WS is going to get a lot of do ran
Wait,
this
hold
game.
on.
You
They're
know, once
hunting
you
down
get the
bottom
dagger.
onto Natsumi. Natsumi doesn't have anything to blink away to, and they're trying to reach him with the Fiend's Grip. There's going to be that electric vortex to pull him in and guarantee the kill. Nicely done there by Spirit.
Yeah, he's probably not supposed to play in this dangerous area. I think this is supposed to be the Phoenix's area, I feel like.
Cuckoo's mid at the moment, though, as we have another pause out from Talon.
Yeah, because if PA is mid, right, it's a lot safer for her in the mid lane. In the bot lane, it's kind of very dangerous. I think you used to be able to do this with PA when you have your blur, when the old blur, when you are not really seen on the minimap. But nowadays, I think with the change to the blur and people don't get it anymore for that early, so it's hard, it's hard to actually push out these dead lanes, and you have to really change your mindset when you're playing the hero. For some players, they get used to the OPA. Whenever you pop your blur, whenever you have it, you feel like you can just go to dangerous places to farm. And I think in the current meta, it's kind of hard for PA to do that anymore. So I would have probably preferred it more that the Phoenix takes the dangerous area. And he's there now. He probably realized that, okay, I need to stop my carry from coming down here. In your game, sometimes you look at your carry farming and he's dying repeatedly because he's going to the wrong side. And then you don't really want to upset him. So you gently just go to that area and replace him. Oh, I'll take the farm here, you go somewhere else. Instead of saying, hey, you're not supposed to farm here,
Is that what I should do? I always just ping them.
It's like a gentle reminder,
Okay, well, that's interesting. I'll try that next time over just pinging their death
I mean,
timer.
you know when the government or the banks, they send you gentle reminder to do certain things. That's how it is.
Right. Oh, ooh, nice blink out there by WS. Great dodge.
That was the blink reveal.
Yeah, I think Collapse showed on the waves previously. It was somewhat of a reveal, though. They knew about it, but that was the blink reveal for WS, certainly.
Yep. And as the state of the game right now, I think they are fairly happy about it with Spirit. They're getting quite a lot of farm for the Terrorblade, a lot of space. And talking about going until late game, I think you're kind of happy
scan.
You have Storm, Terrorblade, and
what a scan
Centaur.
from Spirit. Radahn's going to be able to get out of the way of this smoke gank. He will avoid a costly death at the hands of probably WS.
Yeah, very good read. Because they know that they were top, right? Just now, they dodged the gank. So they immediately make the read that they already left this area. They're not here. So they're probably moving to bot with a smoke from mid, So that was precisely what Talon they were trying to do.
Definitely.
So
and now Spirit, they will be able to anticipate
this move. And now
they're
trying to counter gank here from behind.
Yeah. They're trying to make sure
breaks.
they fight for the Tormy. This is dangerous. There's the leap in by Cuckoo. No one's quite doing the Tormentor yet. A blink out. As Collapse ends up getting caught there by one of the impalement darts. Miposhka, he's found a very nice tree to hide behind here. He will be able to avoid any potential deaths, as it looks like now Talon will be forced to give up this area. Spirit, they have the Tormentor available for the taking.
This is going to be dangerous. Yeah, I think who's in to try and hit the Tormentor is going to get punished.
WS.
You need to win a fight first.
Itching for a duel.
Another
great blink
dodge.
away.
How did he just see him coming?
I think Collapse didn't start the cast on the hoof stomp too early, but still, impressive reaction time. I couldn't do that.
Insane, right? I'm pretty sure he had no vision.
I agree. Oh, that's a nice upgrade as well from Miposhka. Maybe the best shard that they were looking for here, I'd say.
Yeah. Now he gets the push-up waves. Arcane Boot's done, so he has mana to push out the waves. I mean, I like that he actually has a Quelling Blade with a hero like Bane, because you're going to be spending a lot of time hiding in trees waiting for a catch. And the Quelling Blade actually helps you a lot to hide around the trees.
Cuckoo. Yeah, another great blink away, though, from WS. That's two he's had this game, as he'd love to find one where he can find a duel. Unfortunately, this time, Spirit, they've caught him. He's got the escape back. That box made it look like WS wanted to go back in. Now he's going to be forced back in as the wheel comes out a bit too late to change anything. Laurel Hill zip across the wheel as Collapse blinking forward here, holding onto the Stampede, will now drop it to commit for this kill onto the Joker. Nice juke there on the Tame the Beast as Laurel, he collects a double kill and his 11th Galvanized stack this game.
Yeah, Talon, I feel like they have to have like a 3-1-1 setup. I think they are like sending the Monkey King to farm most of the time, and they're making these plays with the Legion, with the Ringmaster, which I feel like they need to involve the Monkey King. You know, the three of them need to play together. They don't really have enough heroes because every time they're going for a move, they catch someone and then Spirit just immediately TP someone, and then they have Stampede on top of that, right? So it's very difficult to make the most work if you don't have enough heroes. So I
Right.
think they need to bring more people when they are making this sort of play. Preferably involve the Monkey King as well, because he
I
has a
think
stun to initiate.
he's looking to get involved now, and perhaps with this Invis rune, Makoto can finally find a little bit more impact in some of these fights. Winter, he's gone for the fighting item, right? This Mage Slayer.
Yes.
Previously, when we've talked about Makoto's item builds, we want him to build more greedy. Is this one of those games as well, or with the PA farming behind him, is this, do you think, the right build for this game?
This game I think it's fine that he's not so greedy, because Legion itself has a lot of scaling power, so you don't necessarily need the Monkey King to be very greedy with his build. I think he just needs to play around his team, but he has the items to play around his team, but he isn't really part of the play, right, with the Legion for the last couple of minutes. So I think they just need to coordinate better and, you know, try to get the right amount of heroes at the right location whenever they're making an aggressive move.
How many carries is the right amount of carries? 2, 2.5, 3? What do you think?
Like, you mean for Dota in general or for this game?
Well, I guess you think it's very game dependent. Then I suppose it'll almost always be right for the draft.
Yeah, I think in general it's nice to have 2 right now. 2.5 can be like really pushing it, you know. I think 2 is, but sometimes it can work, you know, 2.5 with the right game, with the right draft. But I think in most cases 2, I would say, is the most reasonable number right now. Sometimes 1 can work too, if you want to play extremely fast. If you're like Liquid, only 1 carry, you know, and they just keep fighting.
Okay. Interesting. No, that's an interesting topic. I'd love to discuss that with you in some more of our drafts. Careful here. We are looking for a bit of a
just
brawl.
trying to bait a reaction.
Aposhka, he's been scouted with one of the, both of the Impalement Arts as Collapse will come through the gate. Oh my goodness, what a predicted Tame the Beast. It's going to allow the Supernova to come out.
Can I get
They're trying to hit it, but they need the heroes to do it. A wonderful duel here. That's not enough save here for Radon as WS wins another duel. The fight now breaking out as Laura gets on top of Natsumi. He's quickly running out of mana. Another 3-man Tame the Beast here, buying a bit more time. Finally, they get the grip out, but it's going to be a save in time from WS as Makoto joining the fight, finds the kill onto Laurel. Collapse takes down Jokum. Looks like for now, Talon no longer in fighting shape. Makoto, he will drop the ult. Natsumi, he might be able to find another opening in this fight as Makoto gets the Jingu Mastery. He's locked into place. It's 2 supports and Collapse on low HP versus the Monkey and the PA, who's already left to the mid lane, but it's going to be a 2-for-3 trade there in favor of Spirit, but they did lose heavy on their cores.
Yeah, I feel like Talon are happy with that. You know, they got the 2 big kills, you know, the Storm and the Terrorblade. Even though they lost more heroes in terms of numbers, it seems like they are the losers here. But I think in terms of like the more important heroes, they got what they wanted, you know, the kill on the Storm and Terrorblade. It was an initial nice play by Miposhka on the Bane. He was trying to bait them into the center when he was trying to get in. It was a very nice play, but maybe a little bit too quickly, and they kind of didn't have enough heroes on the high ground when they ran up, you know, when they got engaged by Talon, so they couldn't really kill the egg fast enough, you know. It was a nice duel by WS to stop the Terrorblade from hitting the egg.
Top lane, Makoto. Let's get caught here by a brief stun. Collapse may regret
5
this
seconds.
though. Makoto trying to walk him down. Stampede in a second, and he's very tanky. Actually, he's got a full Crimson Guard up on Collapse at the moment. Winter, like you were saying, a very good fight. I was incorrect, by the way. There was not a duel victory, but it was a very worthwhile duel, of course. Maybe they'll find one down bottom now, as Rue does get off this Pierce the Veil, which has a much longer duration than duel. They're going to still hope to try and set up the kill, as that's going to be Natsumi jumping on in. Gets silenced here, but has another Phantom Strike in a second. Just needs some vision. Okay, a jump now on a Cuckoo out from Laurel, who does force out, pardon me, the Icarus dive. A very nice spear now is Natsumi. He will be ran down. Radon joins this fight. Still has Metamorphosis just coming online now, actually. There's just a little bit of poking and prodding.
He's coming. Miposhka scouts him, so he's telling his team to be careful.
Oh yeah, some amplified damage on Makoto. Jokum, he's got this Wheel of Wonder ready to go. Against the Crimson Guard, do you think they can still take this fight? Supernova at the ready?
If they land Supernova plus a big wheel,
Wukongs.
alright, here we go.
Ooh, no, they didn't, that didn't
Not
look
the
right.
wheel they wanted.
Those were very bad circles.
So it's time to, I guess, retreat for Talon now. They have to just pull back a little bit and reassess the situation. They still have an egg if Team Spirit dive in too deep, you know. So they might be able to still fight back if Spirit goes into a very dangerous position.
Yeah, and they got to be a little careful, right? They got to respect this BKB on Natsumi that he's got online. They're fairly strong here, honestly. We'll see going straight into this Ags. But wait, did they break the tree with the Tame the Beast? What stunned Makoto there?
Yeah, probably the Chain the Beast. I didn't see, but it probably breaks the tree. Not sure. Because that was the only spell that was on cooldown. So they're going to smoke. They're looking for Lau. They saw him farming the wave a couple of seconds ago. They have to land either the stun or the duel.
It's got to be a duel. Oh, but he's got a Lincoln's Winter.
No.
He's just not a viable target.
Oh my god, that was actually so unlucky.
Especially when he avoids your Boundless Strike. I don't think those two heroes could have taken him down. They don't have anything to pop Lincolns.
They can't pop the Lincolns, you're right.
Lincolns is kind of a problem, actually. Ringmaster and Phoenix also don't break Lincolns. I guess the Atos will do it on Jokum. He's just completed that. Yeah, they have really big problems.
The thing is also the cast time is going to be very long as well, so it's not really reliable to break it.
Laurel jumps on in. Kuku, he avoids a death, but Collapse is going to chase in with the Stampede now. They're on top of Makoto. Jokum in trouble. The self-escape back to get out of harm's way, but Makoto, oh, he gets pushed into the Fiend's grip. They're going to try and save him. Natsumi jumps in. There's a Supernova behind, and they take down the Storm. Talon Esports trying to hold down their triangle, but they've lost 2 cores, and they're set to lose us. Well, just a second now, actually, as that's WS going down, but Natsumi, no more BKB available. He's in some serious trouble. Kuku, he can't really do much else with the Sunray on cooldown and the Supernova already expended. The control is flawless from Spirit. As they go into the triangle and they come out with 4 lives of Talon Esports.
Yeah, Talon just, I think, shouldn't really fight away from the egg, right? That was a pretty good egg by Kuku there. He placed the egg on the high ground, but they were chasing down the ramp, you know, so away from the egg, and they actually overestimated how strong they were in that fight without the egg to back them up, and Spirit just punished them very, very heavily, you know, killing all the heroes there. Once the BKB ran out on the PA, there's just no way for him to fight.
And it seems super promising too with this, you know, there was Egg, and then you take down the Bane. There's still no
the wheel was
Stampede.
nice as well.
You're right. Just doesn't work out. They just can't get on top of Radon, it looks like. As you say, they chase too far downhill.
I think ideally for the fight, they need to be fighting around the wheel, around the egg, and the duel needs to be on that area. If they have to chase, they just need to back off, you know, and just let the kill go away, you know. They can't go for it. I mean, if you look at Spirit's heroes, they are much better at taking like a very long, drawn-out fight with Storm, with Centaur, with Terrorblade, and even Muerta, you know, like the more rounds or spells you get off, when there's a lot of chasing, it's always going to be beneficial for your for Spirit's lineup. Whereas Talon, their lineup is supposed to catch one hero with either the Legion or the Monkey King stun, and then they need to kill the hero and end the fight right away. You know, if the fight is not over by then, they really need to back off.
Lane, Kuku, he's going to get caught now by Laura. Maposhka has a Fiend's Grip, and he will not need to use it, as he can simply use the Nightmare instead to cancel that TP. The Muerta Acceptor is also online. I didn't realize this thing does 450 damage. Whoa, hold on. Oh, no, that dueled an illusion. Oh, that is not what they wanted. They committed the Wukongs for that as well. Radon, he will be very pleased with the outcome of that, especially as Laurel. Yeah, he's running in to punish. Maposhka still looking for a bigger fish as Laurel again leaping through the trees. He sees WS. There's the Stampede trying to get this Fiend's Grip onto the hero. They've got him with the silence on top. WS dead to rights. Laurel 19 galvanized stacks as they capitalize on the mistake of Talon Esports. Oh my goodness, can they wait, Natsumi? No way. Oh, they kill him through the BKB, Winter, the disrespect.
I mean, this Storm is really out of control, and this has a lot to do with what happened in lane. You know, Lau got away with so much from the laning phase, and he's really, like I said, you know, Storm is the best hero to repay your team when your team gives you a good start or you get a good start, you know. Phoenix is going to get caught by the calling once again. I mean, this is why Morita is very, very good into the Phoenix, you know. And Talon just couldn't really find a foothold in this game, you know, just constantly pressured by Spirit throughout. the game. They kind of had one or two good fights in the early game, but right now, just full team spirit. You know, they're just killing everything they see.
And they are very strong at that as well, right? I mean, there's nearly a full MKB ready to go for Radon, so even this window that the PA has, okay, there's going to be a decent duel. This time, I still don't think they dueled the right hero, though, actually, and Radon, he's just unleashed back into the team fights. There's another zip in from Laurel, gets the kill onto Jokum, the fear and the silence onto WS, as Makoto finds himself silenced as well. He does not have a Dispel, he does not have a BKB, he can do nothing, while Radon and Laurel melt his teammates, completely ignoring the Wukong's command. That's like 4 ults in a row that Spirit just don't care about. Oh.
And they're just too far ahead, literally. That's why they don't care.
Cuckoo. Oh, Cuckoo, no. Oh. It's hard to watch, Winter. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, the heartache. Oh, the heartache, you know, of the SEA fans. You can feel it right now. But all credit to the Spirit, you know, they played a solid game, especially I think Laurel and Rue, you know, in the early game just killing the Monkey King. It's a very, very big deal, you know, killing a hero that's supposed to win his lane, and it creates a snowball on a hero that shouldn't have the snowball, like Storm.
Right.
And he has been like just destroying Talon, you know, the whole game.
Does this Radon, does he have some like glitch TB set or something that makes it really difficult to identify the real TB, I wonder? Because I wouldn't expect WS to make that mistake twice, you know? Maybe it's just the stress.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough game, you know.
It is.
High pressure situation creates a lot more mistakes.
You're absolutely right about that. Very understandable, even from all of our pub experience.
Yeah, but at the same time, they're also already out, right? So I feel like the pressure isn't the same as yesterday when they were still fighting for their lives.
Yeah, it isn't. Probably isn't. Uh-oh. Jokum. Wait, the collapse
Wait,
didn't see him there?
What, you don't see the centaur there?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow, okay, that's a spot right there.
That is a spot. This one right here, folks. That's the spot. Oh, even lower, actually. I did not identify the spot. That's the spot. Yeah, that's the spot. All right, Radon looking for the second lane of barracks. They've got first Aegis in his inventory for a solid 4 minutes. MKB ready to go. I mean, I don't think this Spirit lineup was necessarily one that is looking to push at this timing, but they feel about ready. We'll see what Talon can do to stop them. It's daytime now, so they won't have some sort of vision advantage, but they will smoke to try and get around the base. First headshot misses. WS finally finds a duel onto a real hero, but can they take him down? They will. At what cost? The Laurel trying to fight through the Wukong's command. The Sunray and Supernova is pretty good, but not good enough to save the life of WS. Another leap on in from Laurel as he's going even more. He's juking out Makoto. Makoto can't get his hands on this Storm Spirit. Laurel only limited by the amount of mana he has, as the rest of Spirit just dismantling Talon right now. Buyback out from Jokum as they've isolated Natsumi, now trying to run outside of the base, but they've got to call it Winter. This one, it's all but over. Talon, they will drop game 1 to what looks like a very hot Spirit.
Yeah, very dominant display here by Team Spirit for sure, you know. Making a tough early game, you know, for a Storm on paper become an easy lane, easy game for Storm, you know, thanks to Rue, you know, rotating in those two really crucial times, you know. Just felt like after the bad start, you know, Mikoto kind of let it get to him, you know, he kind of didn't really feel like himself, you know, after from ganks, you know, harder to gank the safe lane. But Spirit, they are very good at using the twin gates, you know, so the solution to this for Talon is to place wards on the twin gate during nighttime.
And we'll see if Talon will be ahead of the curve here. They were last time. They did very well in anticipation of that, and even Talon tried to use that gate early. We'll see if Cuckoo does it again as we get underway with the very last game here in Group A at ESL Raleigh. Thanks for joining us, everyone. That is the swan song here for Talon Esports, already eliminated, trying to avoid a 1-9 scoreline across their 5 BO2 series. But Spirit, I don't think they're going to make it easy for them. They picked some pretty nasty heroes, and, well,
Which
we'll
one?
see if the SF experiment works.
Which one is the nasty hero? Tell me.
The Silencer.
You're not allowed to say side.
What do you mean I'm not allowed to say Silencer? Okay, how about this? I'll say Collapse then. I'll say Collapse on the bristle. Because he throws hairballs at you and everything.
Well, he's on a mission to steal the rune. Look at what Collapse is doing.
He's not making it nearly in time. I think he's just, what, setting out
He's gonna
outposts?
clear the first wave with the quills or what? Yeah, probably that, right? What is he trying to
No,
do?
he's just going to set up
Oh, just
top, I
going back to the
guess.
lane. Okay.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to do something.
Yeah, I thought he was
Okay.
gonna do something. Just came back to the lane.
He was just taking the scenic route. Nothing wrong with that. All about enjoying the games of Dota,
Yeah,
like you say.
taking a casual stroll, you know. Every night I take a casual stroll around the neighborhood, checking for stray dogs, you know, see if anyone needs help.
What a good heart. What a good heart. And then you pick Viper in your pubs to make up for it.
Those who know me know that's not true, you know. That is not a hero that I play.
That's
So
true.
you can continue with the lies, but the truth shall prevail.
That's right. You're just toxic in other ways, right? Just not with Viper.
I am toxic because I play Ancient Apparition.
Well, that's you've just bone chilled me. No, what a terrible joke. Let's move on from this very quickly. What's our fun?
Yeah, I was trying to set up for you, you know. You told me you're getting really good at all this bad jokes, you know.
I don't think so. I appreciate the effort, though, friend. Makoto's up to a fantastic start, though. 6-5 here. I think this is kind of what you expect in these early levels versus the Sand King, though,
Yeah,
right?
Sand King is a lane where you have to be able to bully him. This lane is like 8-2, 9-1 almost, you know, for the Monkey King.
It's up to Talon then if they're going to be able to like contest the stacks and, you know, prevent Laurel from recovering too easily, right? With Stinger and Sandstorm, you would just get right back into the game. Absolutely destroy stacks.
I mean, look at the wards. Talon already has a ward in the Ancients area. They even block the Ancients, you know. They're anticipating that the Sand King needs to do this to recover because he has a pretty bad matchup.
I mean, now that you actually look at the draft, all three of the cores out from Spirit, they really want to farm stacks, don't they? Or they can, anyway.
Yeah, but who's going to get it, you know? Who is the true boss of the team, you know? And we know that's Collapse, you know?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Actually, I feel like they don't really gravitate around one player too much, you know. They have like a pretty good balance for the drafts and priority for all their core players, you know. I think some teams, they gravitate more towards one player. But I think for Team Spirit, they gravitate it depending on the draft, right? Who has a better chance of carrying the game. So things change all the time for Spirit. You know? It's difficult to draft against them because of this. They're very flexible.
Do you think Talon tend to prioritize a player or not, compared to Spirit anyway?
Yes. Talon, very clearly, at least for me, you know, prioritizes Mikoto a lot.
I see. Makoto, who nearly got a kill now onto Laurel, doesn't have vision for the kill, but will at least send him packing into the triangle on 30
Actually,
HP.
Richie, you know what? They kind of prioritize WS too, you know. So I think both of them. They don't prioritize the carry as much.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's been a very common trend. A lot of the C offlaners, right? They tend to demand a lot of priority, or they get it. I'm not sure in what order.
Okay. I mean, we are like so used to Jabs on his offlane playing some weird ass hero, right?
Naga Siren or something like this, right?
Yeah. Rubik. I mean, he didn't win that game, but yeah. Not so long ago. Offlane Rubik. I mean, you gotta have like a huge voice in the team to be able to pick a Rubik offlane, you know?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of damage dealt to Jokum here, but they are getting some good damage in return. And actually, with the Tame the Beast, Jokum's got a first blood. Slow onto Radon is at least going to get Jokum to safety. Careful for that courier, though, Radon. Good micro.
That was like he was trying to bait, you know, but he didn't really use his... I think maybe he couldn't use his Lotus in time. He had a Lotus, so he was trying to make them overcommit for that kill, you know, so that the Gyro could actually get a kill.
Natsumi trying to punch into Collapse, quickly regretting that, though. Up to Sticks, stacks up the quills. Rue. He's got another dead shot here in 2 seconds. The healing salve's running, though, and I think this SF is safe and sound up on that high ground.
Yeah, gotta be very careful for that gate gang coming in soon, you know, during night time. But meanwhile, Collapse getting pushed back by the Shadowfin. Has
so
2 more Mangoes, you know. Yeah, he has 2 more Mangoes if he needs to use it to pump up even more damage. between the Jakiro and the SF, they just deal a bunch of magic damage. Like no one can stand in this lane.
Yeah, Collapse, he's going to have to back away, and Regen in the Fountain commits the TP. Scroll's got brown boots, so he'll get back to the lane, you know, relatively quickly, but that is a second lane that is trending in the direction of Talon Esports here, as, of course, as expected, Makoto is absolutely dominating the lane, 29 and 19 at the moment. I don't think Laurel's even showed up.
You should be given bonus goal for having exceeding like 30 denies or 40 denies.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's good the way it stands now. Maybe it would be interesting if more heroes kind of interacted with denies a bit more, you know, like Lich and this SF do a bit.
Yeah.
Hold on, gate gank time.
I'll always be someone that advocates for, okay, you did well, you should be rewarded with something, you know, but meanwhile, gate gank, Miposhka is here. They have the Watcher lit up, so they saw him just casually strolling over to...
This TP Scroll is ganking top, though. It's kind of an awkward timing, though, with the wave pushing as hard as it is.
They need a TP to counter gank the TP Scroll.
Yeah, I think he's been scouted now. Yeah, they're going to break it, Makoto. Thinking about diving, but it's, again, the creeps just aren't really in the right position here, unfortunately. That's scouted by the ward. And so then instead, Makoto will return mid lane, where he has probably, this is the best start I think he could have asked for, to be honest. Didn't really need any ganks. It's just this kind of a hero matchup that works out in his favor. Laurel still well behind a level 6 here at the moment. That's the first power rune that spawned in. It was a shield rune. Doesn't really do too much here.
The shrine. Monkey wants to invade the shrine. The Wisdom Shrine. I mean, Gyro can TP in. Gyro has a TP. I think he's ready to react to this movement.
Doesn't have level 6 quite yet on this Gyro, but he might still be needed anyway. Tame the Beast, good for the kill there as Makoto runs down Rue. This silence here is really annoying, of course, as the calling expands with the Dance of the Dead facet, even if the Muerta dies inside of it. But it's mission successful here for Talon, as they will secure both Wisdom runes at the 7-minute mark. We're nearly dying here, by the way, to the tier 2 tower. They're looking for the Bristle. It's going to be a hard kill, though. Collapse still up to half HP, and with the magic wand charges is fairly tanky. Makoto taking a good beating there, but that's a very good stun from Cuckoo. Nice point there, value point in the ice path to secure the kill.
Joe Cam trying to escape with a strongman tonic. Gonna die in the end.
For him. Miposhka slow to a crawl, though. Okay, nice dead shot. Miposhka and Rue able to at least turn for the kill there onto Jokum. And Cuckoo, pardon me, before Miposhka ends up dropping.
For Miposhka.
He got a brain drain, though. That was a brain drain.
Yeah, 2 brain. He got 2. And here comes Radan. Gated over. He's level 6. Looking for Natsumi. Can he land the call down? It's gonna get it. Oh no,
just missed. Thinking about that Requiem here, cheeky little play. Will not be able to get it off though, thanks to the fear from Muerta. What a dead shot. Jokum running in, only to his death. Doesn't have a point yet in the escape act. So he will die quickly back to back a second time as Laurel and Miposhka, I suppose, both being able to nuke down the Monkey King. Spirit turning this game on its head within the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, that is such a huge kill. That was like 500 gold for Laurel. Oh boy. This is giving me flashbacks of what happened in the last game.
It was an arcane rune. It was an arcane rune epicenter as well, so Laurel will have another one up very quickly. As Makoto, he will return to the lane. He's going to get on top of this silencer here, I think. Let's see, Laurel's got another stun. Very nice boundless strike to secure the kill, even if he does proc the arcane curse again. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's back on his feet, you know, as quickly as he got brought down. 9 minutes. So there are 2 wards in the jungle. Now they're going to see Laurel trying to clear a stack. So Monkey King is coming over with a smoke with Jokem.
Yeah, they might try and get Radan, but he's going to be able to TP out of harm's way in
what
time.
A read. Just nice.
Monkey King's broken the smoke, and Spirit, like you say, rewarded for their game sense. Will be able to avoid a potentially deadly gank there. Radan wasted no time. He TP'd all the way home as well. He didn't even just like TP top or anything. He wanted to get very much out of the way of this one.
Cool. Setting up with the ice path.
Yeah, nice stun there
That's
on
a lot of
Allure. He's
damage.
fighting into this Macropire, but the silence, into the calling. It's perfect onto Makoto. The Stampede trying to get him out of harm's way. It's not good enough. A 1-for-1 trade, but Spirit will be able to get back with a smile on their faces as they take down the Monkey King a second time and take down that Tier 1 tower.
That is a man that doesn't care about dying for his team as long as they win the team. But he power strike into the Macropire, casts his epicenter into the Macropire and just dies, tanks everything. He just doesn't care, Then they still get a trade. They got the tower, so I would say Spirit are way happier than Talon there. They weren't able to defend their tower. And Collapse is the target now. He's under Observer Ward.
They catch him there with the Impalement Arts. And they kill him off. Good stuns, Ice Path, and Makoto able to run around him to guarantee the kill. Nicely done.
Yep, very, very nice. That's again, a pretty big kill. Still not the fattest Bristleback, but still a good kill nevertheless.
Yeah,
And
again,
the Sand King is still working on his dagger, so the game is still going to be relatively slow for Spirit until Raul gets his dagger.
Sure. Yeah,
I mean, considering the start, he should still have this dagger in a pretty reasonable time, another 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops.
Is this what you saw your mid SF go for here? This kind of Mask of Madness build?
No, he rushed Shadow Blade and he went to gank.
Okay, so it'll be Mask of Madness into the Dragonlance for not Slimy's hard carry SF.
More of a carry build, like just right-clicking towers, pushing objectives. Typical carry stuff.
And Laurel's going to have this blink up here and basically this camp.
He wants to kill the SF if he can, with the first dagger gank. They're trying to set up for it. Rue is placing some wards down, so they are going to have some decent vision, but unfortunately for him, there is a ward from Talon there, so they know he went in and placed a ward, so it's going to be instantly denied by Cuckoo.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about WS's game too much, but he's actually the most farmed hero for now. It's pretty close, but the most farmed hero on the Dire side, and he's actually, farming pretty aggressively, even stealing some camps away from Radon. As you can see, he's going to be very casually able to assist for a kill onto Maposhka. Maposhka, who, by the way, he's sitting at 4 brain drain already.
Even giving Monkey the last hit there. So
I think that's
how you know who's the boss in the team.
I was going to say, they answer the question for us, right? Makoto, he's the king. All hail the king. Oh, and they steal a nice stack here as well. That's going to feel really nice for Talon.
Was trying to stack up for Gyro, and Gyro was like, bro, maybe I am not going to be able to do it,
Yeah. It's
Meanwhile,
too dangerous there.
With the dagger, he's smoking into the enemy jungle. Wants to find the SF.
Cuckoo is waiting patiently here. I think he knows what's coming, I imagine. So he's just stacking the camp for now. Smoke might just break here, and it does. Cuckoo trying to evade a death here. Unfortunately, they can't get out of the range of that level 3 Burrow Strike. Calling on top, and a quick kill there for Rue. Unfortunately for him, that is the 5th brain drain stack now for Maposhka. The infinite scaling Winter.
Just like the Infinity Stones. Infinite. And Silencer is level 6 now. Can't wait for the first global of the game. I think a good way to use it is to break the combo from the Centaur plus the SF initiation, Hoof Storm into Requiem. That'll be a pretty good way. Or when you're trying to jump on them and you're stopping the Ringmaster to box his teammate to save them. Why are you being so cynical to me, Why can't I wait to see the first global of the game?
Normally I'm looking forward to, Wheel of Wonder. Maybe I'm looking forward to the Lion Finger of Death, Maybe I'm looking forward to the first Oracle False Promise. But Winter, Global Silence. That's what he likes. It's a little bit like he needs to use the phase shift. He will. Wow.
For everything nowadays, every single thing that I bring up, you're like giving me shit,
I'm just,
That's something I could do to appease you for now.
I'm just shocked. I thought it would be, that it's just the word choice there. It just cracked me up, Winter. It's okay. I understand. You like the high skill plays, the global silence. How about this gank, though? Makoto jumping into the trees, the Stampede on top. Global silence. There it is, Winter. The global. Oh, it didn't do anything.
Perfect, right? Perfect segue for you.
Are you happy
You
now?
were just waiting for you were just waiting for that to happen the whole game, just to make fun of the global silence.
Well, thankfully, I didn't have to wait too long. It was 20 seconds
Yeah, I'm
later.
not gonna lie, it really sucks if you have to click your R button to save your carry, and then he still ends up dying. And then if you don't
Agreed.
click it and he dies, he's gonna say, question mark, where global? Passive global?
Yeah. He's gonna ping it. Thankfully, in C, a lot of times the communication score is not high enough for
And
them
then
to
guess
ping
what?
my
You're gonna tell
abilities.
him you're dead regardless, and then he just replies you reported. Because you're
Well,
creeping the game.
unfortunately for Spirit, it's not only going to be a kill onto the Gyro, it's going to result in Talon taking down the Tormentor. It'll go towards Cuckoo, so his damage is only going to get even crazier. Cuckoo really likes this max Liquid Fire Frost build, by the way. I think this is the second or third time I've seen him do it.
This is good. I think most of the players are going for this build right now with the Twin Terror Facet. You just deal a lot of damage, It hurts. Jakiro hurts, Newsflash. Run away from the twin-headed dragon. He burns and he freezes you.
Yeah, it's really tough. Plus, like, he's got two heads, so, they can really roast you in a rap battle as well. It's not an easy opponent. He might die here as Laurel, he's just going to let loose the ultimate.
Box him.
Nice silence as well. Jokum does not manage to get this escape art down, actually, so they still take down Cuckoo, even if it takes a long time.
That was the wrong direction from the whoopee
He's
cushion.
take down the courier, but Laurel, he will not be able to escape the wrath of the Monkey King. A 1-for-1 trade.
Wait a minute, Richie. It's not over. Radan's here. He wants revenge for Lar.
They have a global in one
Global
more second.
silence, 2 seconds.
Your favorite spell in the game, Winter?
Yeah, my favorite spell in the game is actually, in fact, Recall now. Wait, no, not Recall. Chakra Magic.
Cuckoo really lived a long time there. So thanks to, what does he have, a Pavis on himself? Yeah, indeed. Unfortunately, the Ringmaster couldn't stop running into the silence. Otherwise, he would have had a box save for him, but it happens. Talon, they still get a pretty decent trade.
He tried to cushion into an angle to box him, but he failed. But it was a decent attempt.
Yeah,
Sometimes
again,
it's just difficult.
It's getting used to these trees, right? The pathing sometimes around these trees can be a little bit rough, but hey, 1-for-1 trade anyway. Talon are not too unhappy with it, especially because their hard carry, SFE, has been farming very comfortably behind all this space and this chaos in this game, right? Natsumi almost at his BKB. They will maybe look for another play, though. Laurel eager to make another kill attempt here as they sneak past the ward. Collapse standing out front with a full blade mail, but not much else. As Jokum will simply TP away here. Oh,
wow,
Laurel,
that was close.
check his PC. What was that blink?
Yeah, better check it twice, Richie. And now Lau, he has a Ghost Scepter. He is done getting smacked by that Monkey King stuff, Ghost Scepter is going to solve his problems for now. Have you ever seen the Sand King going Ghost Scepter this early?
We're seeing a lot of Ghost Scepters these days, aren't we? Careful here, though. Trouble for WS. They have the epicenter. They will let loose now onto him. The silence is preventing him from running away under the cover of the Stampede. And now Makoto sets up the Wukong's command. It won't do much, but it does at least look pretty cool with the Colin and the Wukongs together.
Did not even pop the global for that. He was that confident that the kill was secured. He doesn't think that there's a box coming to save him. And now he has global. He's still ready.
Yep, Cuckoo in trouble. Walks up to the high ground here. Plants a ward down. He's trying to get the D ward, but he's going to go down first.
Just classic, right? Before you die, just at least kill the ward.
Yeah, sneaky move there by him, but Cuckoo fails to deliver much. Careful here. Natsumi. Oh, the global silence to interrupt the Requiem, and now Radan on top of his man. It takes him down. +1 brain drain to boot from Miposhka.
Yeah, that was all Miposhka saving that global, for that exact moment. He knows that it's going to happen, I think a lot of players would have popped the global when they were diving for that kill on the Centaur, but he was calm. He made the right call, and now he has it for an important kill on the SF.
Yeah, huge kill. Up to 8 brain drain without even the shard. Pretty impressive game from Miposhka, I'm not going to lie.
What is the maximum brain drain have you encountered? You tell yours first, and I'll tell you mine. in an actual game, yeah, not a turbo game.
Oh, well, you got me there. I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm a certified turbo enjoyer. I'm caught. I love turbo. I'm not sure. Couldn't tell you. What have you
I think
encountered?
60 is the number I've seen.
Wow.
It's from me.
60?
Yeah, it was a pretty long game. Like I think close to an hour game.
Fair enough. 20-minute rune spawns and it's an amplified damage. There's a stampede though. They give chase. They're on top of Maposhka. Plenty of follow-up damage to tame the beast as well. It'll just be a pick off here in exchange for the stampede.
Yep, kill your favorite hero, Richie, the silencer.
What's your favorite hero? Your favorite ulti in the game?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you the reason the silencer got to 60 because he bought the shot early.
Hold
So
on.
we have,
Collapse?
+3.
It's very tanky. Makoto is dealing negative damage here,
He's
but a
gonna
very
kill
nice
both of
tame
them?
the beast
Oh,
into
okay,
the
no.
Wheel of Wonder. The ice pad, the beautiful spell casting from Talon as they secure the kill. I was afraid they were not going to lie for a second on Makoto. He's taking a lot of damage.
I'm gonna enjoy all this Ringmasters combo for a very long time. Looks so cool. Whipping them to face the moon. Sorry, not the moon, but the Wheel of Wonder. The Moon of Wonder.
The Moon of Wonder. And unfortunately from Spirit, let's see if they can still possibly convert this smoke into something. Ruin Laurel hunting. They've basically smoked
They might
from
catch
mid.
the SF here. He has a BKB though, but they might be able to burst him.
I think they could
stun and
burst
dead shot.
him, but they're not going to try, it seems like it. Maybe instead they can go hunting mid onto a far easier kill. Maybe another one on a Cuckoo, perhaps? He seems to have been the
Not
punching bag
Cuckoo
so far.
again. Give the man a break, Richie.
Careful. Careful. Fight might be breaking out here. Homing missile will send Natsumi packing underneath the tower as Talon, they will smoke up in response to this. They have a full pipe of insight ready to go now on WS. So they're a bit tankier now, a bit more resistance to the magic damage on top of the BKB for Natsumi.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And they are pretty strong right now. I'm expecting them to
Maposhka.
be fighting soon on the Talon side.
Gonna have to tank this
Maposhka gets
initiation.
a solo crest, but not
So
enough
much
to keep
magic
him
damage.
alive.
Yeah, too much magic damage there. Cuckoo just won't be able to take him
Wait,
down.
I have an
Missed the macro.
important question for you. Do you think that the hero that the silencer stole intelligence from should return the intelligence when he gets killed by the exact same hero?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Rue.
Isn't
Rue.
that fair?
Boundless Strike's ready. Jumps into the trees, but he's going to be too slow
Tell
to cancel
me,
the TP.
Isn't that fair?
No. I think
no
Silencer's a thief.
explanations?
Silencer's a thief. He doesn't give it back, you know? Basically, as soon as like he steals your intelligence, he's already like it immediately gets put to use, you know? It's like Google Chrome and RAM. As soon as
Yeah,
you
but
add
what if
another
he
RAM stick,
regretted his
Google Chrome just
actions?
eats
You
it.
know, he wants to turn over a new leaf. Stop being a thief.
I don't think so. That's not the Dota heroes. They're not about that life. Careful though.
Right, fight happening.
Really nice
Soon.
impalement arts. He's gonna keep the blink dagger on cooldown. Sandking unable to interrupt this Roche attempt, but Natsumi slow to exit the Roche bit. Gets caught by the Rod of Atos. Another stun to follow up here as they get through the pipe of insight. He's still pretty tanky though. Stampede, we're waiting on it as that BKB still being held onto by Natsumi. They're gonna throw him inside the box. Will prevent him from getting out that ulti here on the first life as Collapse trying to get him down and will be able to take his
Big
first
stun.
life. The counter
3 heroes.
initiation though, the stun out from WS. It seems like a bit early though. They're fighting so far away from the SF and they've dragged the fight away. They only take down Rue, but Talon, questionable fights for them as the wheel deployed and ignored here by Collapse. Still trying to get on top of Natsumi who cannot cancel his TP. It's a 3-for-1 trade. Seems like a pretty promising start for Talon, but turns into a fight that they will deeply regret.
Yeah, once again, you know, they're not really coordinating as well as the other teams here when it comes to a team fight. Rather surprising that they chose to go onto the Morita there. Allow with the Ghost Scepter just laughing
He's out of
himself. Laughing at the
mana.
Monkey King, you can't hit me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
already
Morita is
used, though.
probably not the right hero for them to initiate on. I mean, they have to start the fight on someone like Silencer if he hasn't pressed global. But apart from that, I think if they want to all-in one hero, they have to all-in like either the Sanking or the Gyro.
Yeah. I also saw Natsumi died to basically blade mail damage on the Bristle, so yeah, just kind of tough.
Yeah, they kind of have to play around the SF, you know, they need to be tight around him, just follow him around, you know, he can't be left alone, you know. After they finished the Roche, I was also a little bit surprised that they didn't stampede and just run away, and the SF just got caught there. So
Yeah.
they were kind of forced into a very awkward scenario there to fight in.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. It almost seemed like Spirit, they weren't willing to push super hard for the second life. I think they still respected the BKBs and the auras in general, but I don't know. I feel like Talon kind of forced the issue. Maybe they felt a little bit pressured by the positioning of Spirit. Felt like they had to do something there, and unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them. It's, still a relatively even game, far closer than game one, which, at this point in game one, I think Radon was already destroying the barracks. This time, it's only a 3K net worth lead here for Spirit at the 25-minute mark, or even at kills, 14-14. And that worth is starting to build a little bit more here for these Spirit cores, though, particularly Radon and Collapse, as there's going to be a Radave Toast, Jocum. Nice combo here by these two new heroes in the game. Stampede committed. They want to try and take a little bit of a better fight on their own terms, on their own turf.
I mean, those BKB timings are going to come out very soon for Bristol and the Monkey. I mean, things are going to get heated up very soon. So all the BKBs ready for Talon. BKB on Monkey Team, BKB on SF. Whereas for Team Spirit, they have BKB on Gyro and BKB on the Bristol back right now. Double BKB on each side.
Quick little
so it's going to come down to like whoever gets the right heroes right for Talon. Like I mentioned, they shouldn't be focusing the Muerta. They have to like try to get the Sand King or Silencer or maybe even the Gyro. Those will be really, really good targets. Whereas for Team Spirit, they are most of the time going to look to kill off the the Ringmaster and the Jack Hero first,
Hey,
the
Stroom.
backliners.
They're going to try the Bristle. He did get broken there, actually, by the creeps, quite awkwardly for him. Good fear with the Ag Scepter. Makoto jumping in, still really trying to find this kill. They really want the Bristle. They saw the Sand King. They think they can burst him down. Doing a pretty good job as Laurel. He jumps into the Ice Path, fails to get a stun. Makoto gets the BKB off in time, but Collapse simply walks away, as does Rue.
He's so lucky to be alive, somehow. His BKB was still in the in the base, he didn't have it yet. That would have been a sad way to die, Somehow nobody dies. Talon would be kicking themselves, for not getting a kill there. But also, like you already mentioned, a little bit of misfortune there from Lau, just blinking into the ice path, so he couldn't get his stun off. I mean, who does it favor, actually? Did anyone use their BKBs?
Yeah, Makoto did.
So that was a 9-second BKB charge for Mikoto.
Oh, this is going to be awkward now. Stampede utilized once again to bail out a support. Radon nukes the waves, but there is a homing missile after this. Jakiro, decent stun. They're going to try and turn here on the high ground as Collapse running on in. That's going to be the global silence. Oh, a fantastic
Collapse, he's killing everyone.
Look at that. Natsumi finally able to BKB, trying to turn with the Rikram, but Collapse, he's got a BKB active, ready to fight into this. Makoto, he's got the Wukong set up, but he dies so quickly to the physical burst damage, even with the bonus armor of the Wukong's Arena. And WS lucky to TP away. Spirit, they don't even lose a single hero.
Yeah, just way better at executing the team fights. Your Talon just like once again, getting caught with their pants down, not ready for that initiation, and the global silence just absolutely making sure that there's nothing Talon could have done there, to react to that jump.
I hate to be this simplistic, but comparing Collapse's first BKB to Makoto's first BKB, it's just, I mean, it's not a really fair comparison, I guess, but it's just night and day, right?
I mean, once again, I don't know if they're going on the right heroes. Like they jump on the Moeta again. I feel like she's not a very good target to start the fight on. Like in games like this, you need to really be patient. Right? If you don't see the target you're supposed to jump, you don't jump. You don't just jump because you saw someone, and then you have to. You feel like you have to go. Like it's very forced.
Careful here, Cuckoo. Gale Guard gives him a little bit of protection. He'll have a solar crest.
He got the wave.
He the solar.
He got the jump.
Get the wave. Yeah, he did get the wave. What the heck, Winter? It's a 10K lead suddenly for Spirit. What happened? My goodness.
They won a couple of team fights, Richie. Were you not watching the game?
I didn't know. I mean, I guess. I didn't realize. Yeah, no. I mean, it's just tough. It's just tough to watch. Makoto.
You were so
He's kinda-
excited, right? Because they kept the game so close
Yeah,
until a couple of minutes ago.
yeah, 5 minutes. The lead has exploded 7-8K here. As the glyph of fortification is used, Spirit just poking high ground, just ringing the doorbell. Seeing if anyone's home, as even without an Aegis, they're still feeling pretty confident. Daedalus, BKB, and the Ag Scepter side gunner ready for Radon. I mean, he's pretty big. There's a Rod of Atos. Collapse is really going to be the target. A beautiful counter initiation from Laurel. Connects onto the two of them. That stops Talon in their tracks like they could really even kill this Bristle. And look at the call down damage. They force the self box. Natsumi, he is slowed to a crawl as Spirit so casually pushing to the high ground. Rue picks up the kill with the Ag Scepter upgraded dead shot. The casual poke, the casual harass from Spirit, just taking down Talon. I think this is just going to be the high ground, the base. It's going to go. Collapse, he cuts the wave top. There's another stun in from WS. Pretty good lockdown on the Radon, but they have the global silence to cover him. Natsumi trying to do as much damage as he can here, but the supports, they're zoned out by all of these silences, and Collapse willing to stand his ground, turn his back, and fight as he ignores the stuns with the BKB, does force out that Stampede. Can Talon possibly try and punish this? No, they're just going to lose the barracks. Oh, Spirit. And look, Laurel's even ready to turn. What a game out from Spirit, man.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're just executing the team fights better, a lot better. You know, the way they are jumping, they are finding the better initiations from the Sand King. Santor's been getting only one heroes in his stun, you know, and then Sand
This
King is
might
like
be
getting
it.
a lot.
This might be it from Talon Winter. This might be the last fight, the last hurrah already. And it's a pretty good jump. They find a two-man stun. Maybe this time they can actually kill the Morta. No! She still gets to pierce the veil. It's at least a pretty decent Requiem of Souls. They focus down onto Rue, but Radon, he's in from the river to just destroy the positioning now from Talon. Makoto, he's BKB to chase after the kill. He never even got it onto Rue. And now Radon's giving chase. He does have the Egg Shard to make a little bit more distance. A nice stun from Cuckoo buys him even more time. Something Missile will eventually catch up to him, though. Tries to dodge it with the Manta, but it seems like he's created enough space, and Spirit won't go chasing any further. Talon, they live to fight another day.
Yeah, they found a really good opening. That was a stun onto two heroes. The Ghost Scepter was pretty quick, you know, from Lao. You know, he somehow manages to react, pop his Ghost Scepter, but just too much stuns, and he still eventually died there. It's a good fight for Talon. They're gonna need a couple more of all those multi-hero jumps from the Centaur to
Good
win,
job by,
or at least turn the game around.
it was a good job by WS, who eventually secures that kill onto the Morta, as they have long wanted.
As long as they can find the Sand King or Silencer or the Gyro, one of those three heroes, I think they will stand a good chance at winning the team fight, you know. If they start the fight on Muerta or Bristle, I always feel like the fight is going to go really bad for them, especially the Bristle. Ignore the ball, you know, you have to find the other heroes first.
Ignore the boar?
Yeah, the ball.
Who's the
Bristle
boar? No, he's a hedgehog.
Let's agree to disagree.
What are you talking about, dude? You know a hedgehog? It's like Sonic the Hedgehog? Oh, hold on. Talon. They'd be forced to fight for this. They actually have a Stampede. Nice hairball cancel the blink of WS as Makoto. He will now initiate. Stun ignored by the BKB. A two-man stun on the support. Straight to the Roche pit. Aegis on the deck. Snatched up by WS. Radon. BKBs. He's fighting through it with the Satanic active. They can't take him down. That's already the Aegis taken as the supports zoned out by the calling. Requiem ends up getting used. That's Natsumi trying to defend his backliners, but it's all going to crap here for Talon. They buy back Jokum. He's in the middle of the fight as the box protecting him, but there is nothing to save Jokum. WS, after snatching the Aegis, manages to TP home, but he leaves Natsumi behind. 4 dead there as Talon. They buy back. They throw everything they have here, Winter, but just like the rest of their group stage here at Raleigh, it just didn't work out for them. They don't get a single kill. They buy back. They snatch the Aegis. There's a little bit of a highlight there for them at least, but Radon's full HP and Spirit are about to destroy your base.
Yeah, just a pretty sad, you know, ending towards the game, you know. I mean, at least they tried, you know. They went to the Roche. They know that they can't give it up for free. They have to contest. It was a nice attempt, but just couldn't really do enough damage there in the team fights, you know. Bristleback was just like destroying them. He was running at the Monkey King with the Blade Bill. Monkey King could not fight the Bristol at all.
Yeah, Radon's got Satanic active. He's just blasting everyone in the fights there with the flak cannon. Just brutal fights here. Spirit side pushing up a 20k net worth lead now. They've cleared the mid lane of the barracks. They have a tier 2 still standing top, so it can't quite be megas here from Talon. They may have one more go at this with ultis ready, but they'll have to do it without a bottom lane or a mid lane of barracks. A stun. Oh, there's an X-Scepter on Cuckoo. Hold on. There's going to be good damage actually on a Radon if they can continue the chain stun. The Boundless Strike will enable that. Radon, BKB still trying to fight through. With the Satanic, there's just too much lifesteal. Another counter initiation. Collapse turns his back. He lets loose, and there's just too much lifesteal. Collapse with the double kill, taking them all down as Talon, they strike the colors. They will be going home here 1-9 in the group stage, and with this 2-0 victory, Spirit have guaranteed themselves the upper bracket here at Raleigh. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, this is why you asked me how many carries do you need in a game, and I said 2, and this is exactly why. And this team fight, they're all in on the gyro, but guess what? Collapse, just ran in, because he's also farm enough to take the whole